Hey, we're back with The King is Dead. I don't know that anyone's actually here yet. Let me check users in chat. Oh yeah, we got people. Really? I don't believe you, Twitch. Anyway, we have no clue how to play this. We just read the rulebook, so here we go. Yeah, apparently we have a bunch of people.
Hi, people.
Oh yeah, Drew, you were the last person to visit a castle, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. That is the start player who I visited a castle in 2014.
When?
2014.
Oh,
Garrett?
yeah. I went to White Castle 2 nights ago, so you're out. Sorry about ya.
I like how well you nailed that pre-scripted joke.
I'm a professional, former professional.
That's true. I forgot you were a stand-up comedian or dabbled in it or something, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My castle was actually in England, so
Well,
I think your burgers lose out. And I'm hungry.
chicken rings for the win.
Whatever. All right, I'll give it to you. You get to go first.
No, I was just kidding. Go for it. I just needed to make the joke. I
don't know if I want to go first. I don't know what I'm doing.
Too bad. You have to go first.
All right.
Okay. Let's put this guy in.
Yeah, I wanted to move those too, so I'm glad you agree.
Because that's a silly place for them, spread out off to the sides for no reason. I'm pretty sure this cloth bag doesn't need to exist anymore.
Yeah, we can get rid of that.
Randomization, so delete. All right. I'm
glad we did these things on stream and not, in the 10 minutes off stream where we were just sitting here.
Yep. All right, so I have 2 blue cubes, and you guys are both split. So I guess hope the order matters. So Devin, then Moray, Strathclyde. Interesting.
I officially have no clue what I'm doing.
Me neither. I'm just trying to talk through my baby step attempts at strategy. Let's see. And when you summon followers to court, you cannot... Oh, you can take it from places that it controls, apparently. You just can't take one from the supply. Oh no! When someone controls a region, all the followers go back to them. So yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. Anytime a disc gets placed in a region, all the followers go back. So yeah, you are. Whenever you play an action, you're taking a cube from a future region. That. Oh man, I'm in a kind of shitty position because the Scots are in a shitty position. They're gonna get 2 regions controlled pretty early, and then they're probably never going to do it. I think I pass.
What?
John?
Is this one of those games where we all pass the first round just to try to make some weird play at the end?
We only have 8 actions in the whole game, so
I know.
Playing actions is really, really powerful. So it's I don't know. You got to do it at the right time, I guess. Honestly, actually, I probably should do something because Devin is first, which means I am gonna get basically you 2 both have 1 English follower already, and I have none. And if we all pass, then Devin is just gonna go to the English for free. So I wonder if actually I shouldn't try and manipulate things a little bit.
Wait, I need to understand what triggers power struggles.
If we all pass,
when everyone passes in sequence. So if I pass, you pass, Garrick passes, then Devin's power struggle is going to fire, and the English will win it. These 4 cubes will go back to the supply. A yellow control disc will come out, and then we will move on to play will continue as normal, but Devin will be done for the rest of the. Oh man, shit! I don't know. Whatever. This is like a 30-minute game, so we're just play. So.
That means we have to make it a 2-hour game.
Yep. I'm gonna swap 2 cubes in adjacent regions. Is there anything else I need to do after the maneuver? Oh, that's right. You cannot use a maneuver action to undo a maneuver action taken by another player unless someone else has done an action between.
Wait, what?
Okay. So I just swapped an English and a Scottish follower in Devon and Warwick. You guys cannot play a maneuver card to just swap them back until a different action has been played in the intervening time.
Well, that's fiddly.
So you can't just like fucking undo what I did. That would be annoying.
I don't like this game anymore. It's fiddly.
It's fiddly.
Okay, so I played an action, so now I have to add someone to my court. So I'm going to pick up an English follower from Warwick.
That makes sense.
Kind of dominating the board, right? Well,
and it doesn't come from the supply, or is this the supply?
It has to come from the board when you play an action. Let's see. So by default, the English have Warwick and Essex.
Yeah, I mean, I would maybe understand a different region more, unless you were planning on doing something to Warwick. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm taking English, then Warwick is the obvious choice because it's totally uncontested. My question in my head all of a sudden is, should I take a Welsh follower somewhere? Because they both have 2 and they're tied. So I'm trying to decide if... Or do I maybe take it from here, actually? That might make more sense. Quickly, what are the rules for summoning followers to courts? Okay, you must do it after taking an action. Choose a follower in any region, place it in front of you. So it doesn't have to be one from the region where my action was played. You just can't take it out of the supply. Yeah, I almost want to pull it out of Devon and just make it slightly harder for anyone. No, actually, no. I want to take it out. I'm good. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, but John's up. Officially.
And English is Essex?
Yep. Analysis, paralysis are both of my middle names.
You sure? Or do you need to think about that?
You couldn't just pick one. You had to split them.
Let me think a minute on it.
All right. Sorry, I need to look at this.
I think you should just pass. I'm down in action. You guys have the advantage. I don't know what I'm talking about. True analysis, paralysis, stun.
Oh God,
that just doesn't have the same ring to it. We need to figure out what Gaston's last name is in the movie, and then we can throw analysis, paralysis in there.
I can't believe I'm about to Google this.
He might not have a last name. Disney characters without last name seems like kind of a thing.
So the power struggles are resolved in the order of these cards right here, right? So we really only care about Devon at the moment.
Yes.
You want to know what Google says it is?
What?
Legume.
Legume? Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Like the bean?
Yep. It's a pun.
Gaston analysis. We got Drewston analysis, paralysis, legume.
Sorry, I know. I'm just kind of reviewing my options.
No, I'm happy to have us just talk through all of our moves. So I don't mind.
Oh, okay. So
maybe our streamers are gonna our audience.
I mean, we're currently entertaining them by informing them what the last name of a cartoon villain from a childhood Disney movie is. Where is this information even from, Google?
All right.
Hey, I may be a villain, but I am not a cartoon. Thank you very much.
I'm going to play a symbol.
I don't know. You are pretty flat.
Okay.
And I'm going to place this.
I'm glad you heard that.
I'm going to go here. This is going to go here. And then this will go.
You're doing one of each color?
If you want to break a tie, then that's an option. And I guess that kind of benefits you and... Oh no, we all have one English follower. It sort of just benefits everyone. Maybe you don't.
And then I can take any one cube off the board.
Yes, you must take a cube off the board. Join in the Scots. All right, Garrick?
I guess I'll just take the obvious move. It's probably dumb, but I'll play English support and play these two. Oh no, it's not. They don't control Essex yet, do they?
I was going to say it has to be next to a control marker, and if there are no control markers, you can place them into their home region, which is Essex. Get out of here.
No, it says place into a region that borders a region controlled by the English. If there are none, if there is none in Essex, then you may instead place the followers into a region bordering Essex.
Right, but they don't control anything because the discs are control.
No,
that's what it's saying.
Oh, you're right.
If there are no discs.
Yeah, you're right. I was right.
I misread it. If there's no control or instability disk in Essex, you may instead place the followers into region bordering.
So I can do this.
You can do that, yep.
And then since I took an action, I will grab the Scottish follower, maybe? Sure, why not? Diversify.
What does that really accomplish other than we all now are tied for influence with me? Yeah, I think I'll pass. I don't think I care enough to burn a card to undo that, because we all have one, so whatever. One English follower.
That's a good point. If I don't pass, go ahead.
Basically, Garrick spent that card to negate. If Devin was controlled by the Scottish, then you and I would have an advantage over him because we both have 2 Scottish followers.
Right.
So basically, he just burned a card to negate our advantage, and now we're all equal. Which I feel like I don't know if I want to burn another card just to regain that advantage. I don't know. It's kind of this is an interesting game. I like it. There's a lot of layers to it, but I feel like I don't want to do anything this early, so I pass.
Well, my concern is that if we both pass, Garrick then can, instead of passing, he can basically round by spending a second card to do something that allows him to gain control.
Right, but I have 8 actions in the game.
I was going to say, if he wants to do that, I don't know, maybe he can get some mileage out of that, but again, he only has 7 cards left now, just I guess we all have 7 cards left.
Well, I will pass.
It's kind of expensive.
I think, honestly, I think we have to just force our way through this game.
Yeah.
See how it ends and just and then play it again.
So I just didn't want to have that first check go through and have an advantage for you two. I'm totally cool with it being even for all of us. So
yeah, I think it was the right move for Garrick. I think it doesn't. I don't think it was a strong enough move for me to want to undo it, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I'm just wondering what options Garrick would have after both of us pass to negate the advantage that we currently hold.
And I'm just explaining, I'm pretty happy just letting this status quo ride out. So
Yeah. That's kind of my sense. Is like I don't see a move for Garrick that would be worth using a card sort of. Well, I don't know. Maybe like part of the meta of this game is that you like spend all your cards like before the first couple power struggles, and then just like have a cascading trigger where all 8 of them fire at once, essentially.
But like, it's a prisoner's dilemma, because if only one person does that, then the other two...
that's true. Then everyone else can manipulate to their heart's content.
Exactly.
That's a good point. This is such a good game.
It is. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pass, so we can resolve Devon. Or Devon, or whatever.
So the English control Devon, all those...
Alexander, yeah, I got greedy and opened up the game for Drew to trigger a revolution, and then he won on the first tiebreaker.
Okay, so I think since Garrick passed, I'm up now. Like, I think it just continues in play order.
That was my impression.
So I will pass. And I kind of think, John, you should pass too, because Moray is next. We both have 2 Scottish followers. Let's force Garrick to play a card or give us
I agree with that.
an edge.
I'll pass. And if he passes, like he basically, it makes him burn a card if he wants to intervene. Whereas if he passes, it basically shuts him out to some degree. Oh, yeah, this is a really good game. I've got to say. Dang.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with it so far. And this is just the basic hands. I think once you learn the game, the cunning cards too. I'm pretty sure you deal out 2 randomly to everyone. Like everyone's hand is slightly different. While Garrick thinks I will find the rules.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not notice this.
What's up?
Oh, wait, no. Sliding. Never mind.
Okay.
I read something in the rulebook that sounded like it might be like a strategy note, but it's...
So I think there's a little bit of an interesting thing going on here. I think now that blue has been pushed into just Moray and Stracolide, and those are the next 2... I don't know, dominance checks, whatever they're called, power struggles or whatever. I almost feel incentivized to just let them go through and then focus on making sure blue never controls a region again.
That is doable. I think that is a reasonable strategy, but there are only 8 regions, and so blue only needs to get probably 3 because it just the way that the random
and that's why my point is if I can keep you contained to the 2, then it's just a matter of keeping blue out of the other 6 while also picking up followers in either red or yellow, whichever ones.
Yeah, I guess my point is if they control Strathclyde, then it'll be pretty easy for John and I to contest both Lancaster and Northumbria with the Scottish support card.
Yeah.
Because you can place adjacent to control markers, so if they take Strathclyde, then they reach all the way down here. I think you're right. I think maybe strategically speaking, you're right about not caring about Moray because it's so remote.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know, you could maybe just also let Strathclyde go through. But if you're going to contest something, I think Strathclyde is probably the one. If that's the strategy that you're going to.
Yeah, I don't know that I care about Moray is what it really comes down to.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I'm not finding anywhere in this rulebook where it tells.
Hey, just a real quick question. Quick question.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
What's this?
No.
What?
No. We're not doing that.
Come on, Garrick.
No.
Let me do it.
That looks
Let me do it. No, Garrick knows knows what I'm trying to do.
What's about to happen? Do it.
Drew, what is it? Tell us what it is.
It looks like a house.
No.
No, it's a church.
What's the region?
Moray?
That's amore. So self-satisfied. I am so self-satisfied.
As soon as I said, I was like, oh. When the moon hits the sky like a big pizza pie.
Honestly, there should be a pizza and a moon somewhere on this board. It should be. All right.
If only the medievals had a pizza as a
But
thing.
honestly, the comedy gold was Garrick knowing what was coming and me
I'm saying no.
come on, let me do it. That was the comedy gold. That's what we came for.
Okay, so in case you guys are curious, the advanced game is, if all players are familiar with the game and agree, you can choose to play the advanced game. Remove each player's Scottish, Welsh, and English support cards, and return them to the box, and then shuffle the cunning action, they're called, and secretly deal each player 3 cards. So 3/8 of your hands are, and all 12 of these are unique actions.
And they look fancy.
Yeah.
And so you would actually end up with 10 cards instead of 8?
No, you'd end up with the same. You'd end up with 8, but the 3 support cards would be unique to your hand. Everyone would have 3 unique cards and 5 cards of different shares. You can't.
Oh, that's right.
Leonard, it's too late.
That's right, because you
stuck with
have
us
3
forever.
of those. You have 3 of those. The Scottish support, the English support, Welsh support. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting idea. What if I outmaneuver these 2 up here? I think this might be interesting. Then I took an action.
Yeah, that is interesting.
So I would have to take a cube. Let's just grab that yellow right now.
I'm surprised you didn't take a blue.
He's basically wedding himself to a strategy where he just ignores blue and tries to make sure that blue never gets enough control to be a contender for the crown.
I don't know how successful it'll be, but I think it's interesting.
I think it's a good strategy, and that was an excellent move. We can. So you can follow an outmaneuver with a regular maneuver, but we can't. Neither of us can undo what you do, essentially. And I don't have my maneuver, so I'm
Exactly.
Yeah, but John might have a maneuver.
Might, if you didn't lose it somewhere.
I believe it's back to you now, Garrick.
No, Garrick played this action card. Now it's to me. I pass. Now it's to John.
Yeah, it's a soft pass.
It's a soft pass.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I'm going to pass as well.
You're giving up on the Scots, huh? So you could switch a Welsh and a Scotch cube out of, you could do this with maneuver, because he played outmaneuver, so you can't.
Yeah.
So we could use the regular maneuver card to swap 1 blue back into Strathclyde, which then gives us a fighting chance. Then also make Strathclyde blue, and then cascade down into here.
But I'm not so sure that I'm.
But yeah, so you got to decide
working with you.
Blue.
Yeah, I think
we're more. We have the same cube, so we're kind of working together.
To talk about this in open strategy, I'm thinking about whether I'm going to continue to work with you, or if I'm going to secretly start shifting my strategy toward what Garrick is doing.
Yeah, no, I think it wouldn't even have to be secret. I think it just sort of is on the table.
But that's the way I'm thinking about it, is I want to kind of start making that switch to either red or yellow or both.
Yeah,
seeing that blue's presence is kind of waning. I don't know how heavily I want to Because eventually Garrick is going to have to put blue out on the board. I mean, we're all going to have to put 2 blue out on the board at some point.
Yep.
It's just a matter of when.
Exactly, right.
I mean, I don't think we technically have to, right? If we were to go through all of these without using our
that's a
action
good
cards.
point. Yeah, you could pass all the way down.
But we also have assembles, which I'm sure I'm going to want to use an assemble. So like blue will make it back onto the board.
Yeah, so like blue's not totally out of the game because no one has played any of the related blue cards. One person's played it. He played it. John played it.
Yeah.
And I guess my thinking right now, John, is that both of us are 1 cube behind on English and Welsh, whereas we both are ahead on Scottish coalition.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering. I mean, the incentive isn't very big because like you and I are tied, so we're gonna like be fighting over influence over the Scots, but also like in terms of our court in relation to Garrick, the like there's a slight incentive for us to make it work because we're both behind against.
Like I said, I'm interested in just letting our decisions pan out and not overthink it. But
no, I mean, if you want to pass, then do it.
I'm going to pass. You passed. I'm passing.
I'll go ahead and pass then, because I'm totally fine with that resolving.
Okay, so Moray is controlled by the Scots, and we're on to Strathclyde. So let's see. Yeah, I'll drop my Scottish support. Boom. And then I will pick up an English follow from. Do I want to pick up the Welsh? No, English I think is better right now. Take it out of Warwick. Okay, John.
So you placed 2 there.
Using his Scottish support. So that's his big blue placement.
His big blue move. I'm sorry. What does negotiate do?
Sorry, his big blue card.
You can swap 2 of the regions.
Which is potent.
You can manipulate the order that the power struggles happen. But you can only do it once. And once you do it, place a negotiation disc on one of the 2, and then that region cannot be moved again by anyone else's negotiate.
Yeah, got it.
So like if I don't know, Lancaster is coming up and you really, really don't want the Welsh to win it, you can just like move it to the end and buy yourself some time to like manipulate the board a little bit more, I guess is probably the reason for that card. I mean, obviously that's the reason for that card.
I'm going to play outmaneuver. Maybe not. Shoot.
Since you haven't done anything yet, can I tweak my last move quick?
I'm fine with it.
I think it's really silly not to take this Welsh follower from Strathclyde.
That does make a lot of sense to me. Unless you like really wanted to pivot yellow or something.
I mean, yellow is better, but I also don't want to have to be like, if I don't do that, then I'm forced to play another action card to not make my other action card totally a waste. So like, at least now you guys have to respond to me if you don't want this to happen. Whereas before you could just like ignore it and let me have to play a second card. So as much as I would rather have an English follower, I think right now, take that one just to make my move actually a move instead of dumb. Sorry, John. I don't know if that changes any of your.
Not really.
Your analysis
I'm
paralysis.
saying, hey, let's just do stuff and see what happens, and I'm sitting over here like toiling over what I should do. So I'm not living what I espoused.
I mean, it's hard not to just like think about this game. It's meaty, thick and meaty.
Yeah, for a game with literally 8 cards and 2 things that you can do on your turn, there's a lot going on.
So I'm gonna play this. Wait, maybe not. Where's that? Essex?
Maybe you just don't play anything.
No, I don't think that's the right answer.
Well, so like again, I don't know what I'm talking about. But I feel like unless you care about what happens in Strathclyde, and are going to play a card that affects it, or maybe if you're going to affect Gwyneth because it's coming up immediately after, like I think you probably just want to save your cards because you currently have an action advantage over me and Garrick. So like, why burn a card now when you can use it later? Again, unless you're going to do something to affect Strathclyde, and like maybe you want to do something about that.
I think I'm going to do this.
Okay.
I'm going to negotiate, and I'm going to swap these 2.
Ooh. Okay.
Interesting.
And then I will put my disc.
Who are you taking?
I guess if you wanted to negotiate, I want you to not be able to move that one. And then I will take this red one.
Yeah.
Yep. That was
seems like a cool move.
Pretty close to what I was going to do.
Really, I'm interested why you guys didn't just pass.
I wasn't necessarily going to swap these 2 cards, but I was maybe going to just like place an assemble and like dump the blue into Stratholide or something and take the red out of there to get the red share, you know?
I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
To be perfectly honest with you, Drew, I don't know what the consequences of using all my actions early are. So
I see. Yeah.
It's hard for you to convince me that it's a mistake to not pass.
Yeah,
and
I'm not trying to convince you.
No, I get it.
I just
what I saw is I'm gonna win. I'm gonna have blue, and I have 2 blue cubes, so that's an advantage. And then if I get red, so I'm gonna be.
Yeah, you did kind of set yourself up well to like break into the Welsh coalition by scooping up that dead red cube and also having this trigger next. So that I was gonna say it seems like a good move now that you did it. So
it also
just did it before me.
It forces you to have to spend a lot in order to counter what I just did. And I think that's the key to every action: is how hard is it for you to counter what I just did?
Yep.
And how can you chain those across the game to eke out the most advantage?
It's just brilliant design.
Oh man.
And I'm as much a fan of game design as I am of steam grilled miniature burgers.
All right, Garrick, at least make your analysis paralysis vocal.
So I'm trying to, like I said, I really was going to do something really close to what John did. So I'm trying to see to what extent I now care. Because I was planning to pivot into red and try and be like red and yellow, while you guys were more blue at the moment.
Yeah.
And like, I still don't really care about Strathclyde. So the question is, do I care about Gwynedd at all?
Yeah. All right, fun fact. Those two D's are pronounced like a TH in the.
Gwyneth?
Gwyneth, yeah. Drop the E. Just the sound in the, but without the E.
Gwyneth.
Gwyneth. Gwyneth. Paltrow. The more you know. Rainbow star across the screen.
See, so now I'm leveraging. I still have Scottish support. I know you used yours. John still has his, if I'm recalling correctly. Yeah, I see yours.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can see the face-up discard, and so mine is clearly out of play.
So my question is, do I want to use Scottish support and burn blue power, or do I want to save it and potentially care about blue again in the future? Because
interesting. Yeah, that's true. You could toss 2 more blue cubes into Strathclyde and then just like really
not care about it.
Not care about it for a while, essentially.
But what does the use of that action get you, though?
It means I can pick up a follower.
He's less worried about blue ever getting.
Yes, and it diminishes the total blue power in the game because I never feel compelled to play it when it's less advantageous for me.
I mean, the other thing is I don't think you have to play all 8 of your action cards.
No, I mean, we just talked about that. But the thing is, I still want that follower.
Oh, that's true. You do want to play. Yeah, I guess you do want to play all 8 just to get the followers.
God, this game's too freaking good. Why was nobody talking about this until like 5 months ago? Like the other thing
for sale?
I mean, yeah,
like
I mean,
$25 everywhere.
There was a first edition, and then before that there was a different game, which was the same game called like König von Siam, King of Siam. So like it existed, and like as soon as second edition was announced, Cole Worley was like, "Oh yeah, this is like a formative game for me, super influential on my design." And
yeah, you can definitely see how this influenced PAX from here.
And Ryan Spangler responded and was like, "Me too. This is like one of the most important games I ever played. I wouldn't be in game design without it." And I was just like, "What the fuck? Like, how did I not know this existed?" So the other thing I was thinking was I could play an assemble, which is like the tiny version of that Scottish support action I was talking about. Like I still throw the blue up in Strathclyde, but then I seed in a couple different places. I save the Scottish support in case I need it later. I still pick up a cube.
Yeah, I just wonder if it's worth burning action advantage for. Like every time you play a card, it feels like it's
right.
You a lot,
and that's why like the idea is I'm playing with the idea of how much value denial is because I'm taking blue cubes out of the economy, and I don't know how good it is.
Oh, that's interesting.
What is?
So if there's an invasion victory, or if the game ends in invasion, then sets matter. Like whoever has the most of.
Oh right.
And the tiebreaker there is whoever most recently played an action card. So action economy is super important as a tiebreaker.
Yeah, I've heard this
Coronation, the opposite is true. If there's a tie in the Coronation victory, then the tiebreaker is whoever first played all of their cards.
Interesting. Yeah, I've heard at really high levels, this game is just the tiebreakers. Like, that is the whole game.
Yeah. So that's really...
I'm sorry, what triggers a instability disc to be placed?
If a power struggle is triggered and nobody has a majority, so like let's say this cube is on, Northumbria would get an instability instead of a control list.
All right, come on, Garrick. Let's just power through this and then play it again.
God, this is an incredible design. Let's go with the blue denial idea. So I'll throw 2 into Strathclyde. And then I played a card, so I will take a cube. Let's grab. A red out of Lancaster.
Okay, I think now feels like an interesting time to play my outmaneuver and just counter that. So I'll move 2 here and 1 there.
I opened that up by taking the red. Interesting.
Yes, exactly. And I will take. I think I'm going to take this. I think it's more likely. John?
I'm going to pass.
Garrick? Jesus, this is such a good game.
Yeah.
BRB, going to Amazon.
Well, you don't have to go anywhere. Like, you just go to a different browser.
Is it sold out yet?
John.
I think NPI called it their game of the year.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Oh, I hope it's not.
It'll get another printing.
I've been sitting on wanting to buy it for like literally years now.
Although, brilliant idea. Retheme this as Monty Python. $38.
Yeah, that's Amazon. I think that's a third-party seller sold out on it. Let's see what.
I mean, I think it's worth $38 to have in the collection.
No, I agree, but I've seen it for like 25. I've almost bought it like times.
I'm gonna pass.
John, did you pass?
Yeah, he did.
Yes.
Oh gosh, I'm silly. Forgot that these got switched.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I'll pass. And go.
Yeah, Miniature Market has it for 26, but it's out of stock.
Oops, sorry.
That's okay. I got it.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I just checked.
Okay.
I'd say check Game Nerds, but they're on hold because of the power outages in Texas right now.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, so
CSI does not have it.
Who goes first?
Gwynedd is done.
Listed.
So Drew goes up. No, sorry, Drew passed last, didn't he?
I passed.
It'd be John.
Gwynedd, so it's John.
Interesting.
You could try Boardlandia. I've ordered from them a few times.
Game Nerds does have it. Wait.
I like how this is just turning into a shopping stream.
I'm just waiting for John to do something, and then Garrick to do something.
I think I want to do this.
Out of stock. Game Nerds.
Like I said, they're not accepting orders right now anyway, or maybe just not shipping orders, something like that.
No, but I was gonna wait till Monday and then buy it. But they're.
I think I'm gonna grab those 2, move them there, grab this one, put it there, and then I will. Or wait.
Yeah, deciding which follower to take is so difficult sometimes.
Because I feel like taking this one,
you're weakening that faction, but getting more influence with it at the same time.
But I think it's all about understanding how many of those cards have been played. So if I take this red one, how many more red cubes are going to be placed?
This whole follower aspect feels very Paris Connection to me.
I'm going to take this red one. Okay, you're up, Garrick.
Yeah, that's the red I should have taken, and instead I opened up this play that Drew did, but it was interesting, so I don't regret it from that perspective. I'll play an assemble. I'll throw a blue up here. I'll throw a red in here. I'll throw a yellow in here. And I will take the yellow out of here.
Why not just leave it there?
I guess you're right, because you can't. It's not like you can play the card again.
Yeah, I can't use it again. Is anybody surprised Cool Stuff Inc. doesn't even recognize it?
Yep.
Did you mean the King of D? What?
Haven't they been terrible to order from for like 2 years now?
Yeah, they kind of. I'm gonna assemble a blue, a red, and a yellow. And then I'm gonna take a yellow. John?
I don't know if I'm ahead or behind.
You're a person, John. We've been over this. Get it? Ahead?
Yeah.
Or behind. Like, it's wordplay.
Yeah.
You mentioned Monty Python, so I thought I'd try and channel some of that.
Oh boy, this is tough. Because I feel like I want to pass. I think I don't want to pass. I just don't know. I'm going to play this. And then I'm going to... All right, you're up, Garrick.
I'll pass.
And once we get here, invasion isn't an option.
Correct. Yeah.
So I would argue that invasion every round becomes less and less likely.
Yeah. Every round that a black disc doesn't show up.
Okay.
Garrett passed. I don't. I'm gonna do Welsh support. I'm gonna drop 2 cubes here, and then I'm gonna pick up a blue. John.
Oh. I'm gonna pass.
Garrett.
I will play Welsh support. Throw 2 in here and grab the red out of there. I just realized how hard I was hunching my shoulders. This is tense.
Interesting. uh, hmm.
Those palms feeling a little dry.
Yeah, no one's greased them. What's going on, guys?
You need a promise cube?
Yeah, can you give me a yellow?
No.
Suddenly, it's looking like the Welsh might actually be able to run away with this, which is bad for both of us. Really good for you. That kind of opened that.
Yeah, like you did that, and I was like, "Oh, cool! I'll just run with that."
I mean, I dumped it in a place where I thought it would be not very useful, but I forgot that you also still had your Welsh support, which enabled you to do this. And I can counter it, but not very efficiently. It's not great. Counter, actually. Well, let's pass.
Let's or you? How many people are you playing for?
I pass. No, just
Did you
I pass.
did you pass, Garrick, or you played your Welsh support?
Garrett
I played Welsh support.
Welsh support.
Yeah.
Here, yeah.
Okay. So when you place a card, I finally realized what the icon on the support cards mean, that it has to be adjacent to one that they control. Like I was trying to figure out,
Yeah.
is that an egg? It looks like he's cooking an egg. But
Yeah,
now
adjacent to control or the
Yeah.
home region if there is no control anyway.
I'm gonna pass. I want to see if my turn advantage
Pays off.
is something that pays off. Yeah.
I'll go ahead and pass because I'm long over ready for Strathclyde to complete.
Yep. Okay. I am up then. Hmm. All right. I'm gonna assemble. We're gonna stick a blue cube in here. Welsh over there, and English is brick.
Ah, yes, the three factions: English, Welsh, and Blue.
And blue.
He's got no love for the Scot. No love indeed. Let's see. I am going to assemble. And I will put it doesn't do anything if I put it there. Oh, okay, I have an idea. So there's the yellow. Put a blue. What am I doing?
Thank you.
I don't know which one to do. I'm going to do yellow.
Um,
I have to turn the record over.
What you got, Gary?
gosh, I don't know.
Yeah, no kidding. Welcome to the club.
I will maneuver and take a red from here.
Um, hmm. I pass. John?
I changed my mind.
But then do you take a blue from that region?
No, it's easy to just take it from more.
Well, it looked like he might have been trying to set up an invasion ending.
Oh, I see.
And I was at one point, but then I realized that this late in the game, that's really a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's definitely difficult to try to look at this board right now and say who's going to be the dominant faction.
Yep.
I'm in a pretty bad spot. I'll pass.
I thought you might use that swap, Garrick. Negotiate.
I thought about it, and then I realized that if it comes to a coronation, the first tiebreaker for two factions controlling the same number of regions is whoever last won a power struggle. So if blue gets its 3 now, and then one of the other two colors gets 3 later, that other color will win.
And that's good for you, though.
Right.
That's why you didn't do it?
That's why I didn't do it, yeah. Because I would rather blue get its 3rd right now, and then one of the other two colors get 3 later. Because I don't want blue to win.
So should we be putting a disc here?
No,
No, that's for...
That's just for putting them in order?
Oh. Yeah, actually, I guess technically we could throw out a disc right now. Blue is currently first, and this is second. Third.
Is that how that's supposed to... That's a confusing card for me. I don't entirely understand what its purpose is.
I think this is, at the end of the game, this is the order. So the first one is this, and this is the second.
Right. I don't know that it has any value
Yeah, it's
mid-game.
got 1, 2, and 3 on it. It's probably just a reference during the game, I guess. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Technically, these guys are 2.
Right.
But,
Anyway, it's not important.
Hmm.
So Garrick passed. You're...
Yeah. I think I'm going to negotiate and swap these two and lock this one and take this blue cube.
Yeah, my move probably only worked if I didn't broadcast why I did it.
Well, I was planning on... I was going to do that no matter what, but you did make me realize... I did slightly tweak it based on what you said. I was originally going to lock Essex at the bottom instead of Lancaster, but either way, I wanted to move Northumbria away from being the last one.
Gotcha.
So you didn't change the card I was going to play, just slightly changed the order.
What did you do? Sorry. Oh, you negotiated.
I negotiated, switched these two cards, so Northumbria is now next.
That's interesting.
I wonder if Westphalia is based on this game. Or inspired by this game, I mean. Because what I've read about that game seems vaguely similar. In abstract, not like in rules.
Yeah.
This just isn't good.
Okay. Since you're still thinking, let me think about the follower that I pick. That actually might be incredibly important.
It is incredibly important. Every decision matters.
Yes.
So much.
Oh, man. Oh, that's a big bummer. It could go either way. I need to remember the cards.
Someone's selling this for 70 on the geek market. I'm sorry, which one did you take?
I took a Scottish follower from Lancaster.
Gotcha.
So you took back the negotiation?
No, I still played the negotiation.
That's his follower for taking the action.
Oh, got it. I don't know. I'm just gonna pass. I feel so behind, and I like the fact that Garrick is invested in this red strategy, because that just means all I have to do is thwart it.
Yeah, he's very invested in
But then Drew has 4 yellow, so that's kind of a problem. Man, what a mess.
Yeah, I'm in a pretty bad spot, honestly.
Well, I don't know, Garrick. I mean, how well you are now based on, I think, me switching that. I think if I had taken a blue follower, you could have just pivoted to yellow and guaranteed the yellow wins. That you had 5 followers, like 4.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, I think now you might have to try and tie. Well, red. You've already played your Welsh support, though.
Yeah. I'm going to negotiate. Put Essex up here and lock it. And I'll take... I don't like it, but I think I take a Scottish follower there.
Okay, I pass. So John's up.
So I wonder if that's an opportunity. I'm gonna pass.
I'll go ahead and pass as well. Let's get Essex done with.
Yep. So that resolves. Put some yellow cubes back in the pool.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. And then it's on to me with Warwick, and I think I pass. John?
Yep. Thinking. I'm just not sure.
This suddenly became
This
a quiet game. I love it.
So stressful.
This is already a quiet game. It's a heck of a game.
2 there, and then I will pull this one.
Nice. Okay, Garrick.
But I see what you mean by at the, what do you call it, the master level or whatever, where it's always going to come down to tiebreakers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I think it's going to come down to several tiebreakers in our noob game right now.
Yeah, so that's why I'm going to go ahead and assemble and just try and secure that tiebreaker and see what happens.
Yep.
What are the exact rules for assemble?
You place any 3 cubes anywhere.
Can they
Well,
be
one of each anywhere. They can be the same or different regions.
Okay, yeah, that was the important part.
There's no restrictions on it. It's the most flexible.
Let's put a blue in here. Red in here. Yellow in here, and then I'll grab the yellow.
I don't think you can grab a cube that you've just placed.
Is that a rule?
I think so. Maybe it was specific to the support ones.
That your action
It
did
says
not
any
involve.
follower in any region.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought that.
Yep.
Let me check the other thing again. Yeah, I don't see anything about it. So yeah, I'll take that yellow. And we'll see where the game ends.
Actually, it says on this page, it says you can choose a follower from a region that your action didn't involve. You cannot choose a follower from the supply. It must be from a region.
Yeah. So I followed both of those tenets. Because it's saying you can take from any region, and it's saying as long as it's a region, not the supply.
Well, it says you can choose a follower from a region that your action didn't involve.
Yes.
Oh, never mind. That's like a double negative.
It is. Oopsie.
I don't think I can stop Garrick from winning, actually. I should have pinned X at the bottom. But he's the Welsh are just gonna win because they're going last. Unless I take one of these cubes with my action. But then the English win, Garrick breaks the tie. Because he played all his cards before I did. I don't remember what card John had left.
Well, there is this
I think it might be the
potential.
Welsh one.
There is the potential where could we force invasion 3 times?
I think it's highly unlikely
That would
because
be
of how
hilarious.
stacked Warwick is with English.
No, it actually would not be that.
You have to remove 3 out of there, and I'm out of actions. There's only 2 cards. I don't know what you have, but
Well, there's only 2,
Well,
2
all it
cubes
takes
can come off
is-
the board.
All it takes is someone removing this Welsh follower here,
no, this I get.
playing a card. This one, all it takes is 2 more red cubes, and then someone removing an English follower.
Yeah, which I can do.
But then, yeah, because as I say, I think John has his Welsh support left. But then this one, I don't think we can do anything about.
Yeah, the problem is you really would need 3 different actions.
Yep.
Unless one of those actions was one of your... I feel like putting the support ones down early and using the maneuvers and outmaneuvers later in the game is actually makes more sense.
Yeah.
I feel like the maneuver and outmaneuver are actually late game cards. Because they're more impactful. But they're not the last card that you use, because the last card, because once you're down to 1 more territory, then anyway.
This is just a good game.
It's a really good game. Oh man, yeah. Yeah, John has Welsh support. There's not really anything we can do to coordinate 2 cards we have left. Other than by taking specific cubes, but that's kind of to neither of our advantage, actually.
Right, like I think you guys can engineer a win. I just don't know if it's advantageous to both of you to do so, you know?
Yeah, like together we probably can engineer a win for one of us.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I guess.
Like, I think if you pass, you give the game to me. And then if you play, then you put me in a king make situation.
No, I think Garrick just played. So if I pass, I mean, Warwick is next, so it's not really going to do a whole lot. I could put you in a king-making situation, which is appropriate since this is a game about coronating a king.
This game actually triggered a whole conversation about king making and stuff related to that in Woodland Warriors a couple days ago.
Yeah, I saw that. It was kind of a garbage.
Yeah, I was trying to just mention it and be polite.
King making is great. I don't know why people don't like it.
Because it leads to feel
It's a
bad
feature,
moments
not
for
a
people.
bug.
It leads to feel bad moments for people who deserves to win, Drew.
Yeah, everyone has.
They played the best. They deserve to win. It shouldn't be taken from them.
Sometimes that's not how life works. Games aren't about having fun.
That's not what my white privilege says, Drew.
Let's. Yeah,
That was a risque joke. It's a good thing no one's watching this.
I think my best course of action is to play my English support and see if maybe John will king me. So I have English support. There's only 1 yellow cube left. so I can't disrupt anything in terms of Garrick winning. So I can really only remove cubes from somewhere. So I can remove this, basically, which does nothing. But that at least leaves the opportunity for the Scots to win here. Which would give me the win and would give John basically the equivalent of like some influence in the courts.
No, this is an oath. You don't get to make him a citizen.
No. I'm just following the logic of the game, right? We're coronating a king. He's got more influence with the Scots, so he probably wants the Scots to win more than he wants the Welsh to win. So that's my plan. That's all I can do. You're up, John.
Well, I will pass.
Okay, I have to pass.
Does that mean we?
If you pass, we all pass, and we resolve Warwick.
Yep.
Okay.
You're the only one with a card left, so basically you define the rest of the game.
Yeah, you solely determine the entirety of the game now. Like, this isn't just king making, you are God.
I mean, my favorite part about king making is the derogatory term that people use. Like, everyone uses king making as a pejorative term, but in the real world, the king makers were like the most important and powerful people. And I love that this is set in the medieval period, because this is exactly when kingmaker as a term was first used, and it was to talk about the like English succession crisis. One of their many succession crises.
Lily and I have been talking about what a game would look like if the whole point of the game was to make someone else win, and then you actually win.
Yeah,
and how you would gamify that. Interestingly.
Yeah, so I passed.
I haven't played Dune, but Dune has some of that going on. Oh, you did pass. Okay, well then, yeah.
Oh, okay, so, you're officially passing.
I was just doing some calculations to see how I would win, and I can't.
Okay.
Because the way that the ties are resolved for the tied coalitions, so it's going to end up 3-3. Yeah. Red and yellow, and red's going to be the tiebreaker because it's the one who won it most recently. And this is where having my negotiation would have been helpful, because I could have used Warwick to move it down to the bottom.
Right.
And then that's how I could have won. But from this point, I will.
So yeah, basically you got to decide
Wait a minute.
If the Welsh or the Scots are going to win. Oh, wait, no, the Welsh can't win. You're going to decide if the Scots or the English.
Which card does John have?
I'm pretty sure he has Welsh support.
Welsh support.
Okay.
So Scots can't win, can they?
Yes, because if John takes a Welsh follower out,
you can't.
Scots would win Lancaster.
You can't place those there, John.
Oh, yeah, because it's not adjacent.
Yeah, so like the only place he can place it is here. He can't.
You're right. He needed to do that into Warwick if he wanted to king me.
Yeah.
So instead, you're kinging Garrick. Why, John? Why?
I didn't even know.
Oh wait, did you just take those from your personal followers?
Oh, I guess I did. Silly me.
Oh, sad day. I mean, would you still have passed? Were you going to do that anyway?
What?
Were you going to put the Welsh?
Well, what my hope was, because what I was trying to do was essentially allow this one. So if I put them there, I don't remember what the count was.
It was 4.
There was a red in there, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was 1 red, there was all 5 yellow, and there was 1 Scot blue, I think.
So 2 red there wouldn't have mattered?
You would have only been able to place 1, and it wouldn't have changed anything in Warwick. The only thing you could have done, I think, is place them in Warwick and then remove a Welsh follower from Lancaster.
Yep.
Well, I wouldn't want to do that. The whole point was that Lancaster gets an invasion, which means that red doesn't have a third disc, which means yellow wins. Then I would pull this off.
Yeah.
And this would
This
would be red.
No.
Actually, yeah, you can potentially just win.
No, this would still
that
be
wouldn't
yellow.
red. Is that even possible? Let's see. You might actually.
Well, yeah, that's what I want.
one.
Yeah, it would still be yellow.
It'd be yellow.
This
And then he wants this to be black and this to be red. He wants this to have happened.
That's what I wanted, and that would have won me the game.
So, what was it? There were 5 1-1. Yeah.
Yeah, because like you said, Garrick, I was only able to place one red there because there was only one in the supply, right?
Yeah.
So yellow wins here.
Well, wait.
No, I think he's right, Drew.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Before you move the cubes, yeah. So, okay, I see. If you place the Welsh support cube in there, and then remove a yellow from Warwick.
And I removed a yellow one from here.
Or no, yeah, you remove from Northumbria.
Because it doesn't matter.
And then yellow wins.
And then
That's right. Yeah, then yellow wins, and you have the most yellow.
Very
Oh, I
nice.
missed that. Yeah, you definitely can win.
Very nice.
Well played.
Yeah.
I like.
And I think that the invasion adds a really interesting. I mean, everything's an interesting element. Like when you put it all together, it's just fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, this is an incredible game.
And a 30-minute game at that.
Looks at length of the stream. Yeah, 30 minutes. Not,
Well,
an hour and
We've
30.
been playing an hour and 30. That's
our particular
real.
play being an exception, but
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely jam through this game fast. God, and yeah, it is just every decision matters, and it's so clever. Wow, what a game!
wow.
Yeah, that's
Well, let's see if
Glad we finally played
fit that into a clever night of the week stream, Garrick.
Sylvester
Ooh.
Saturdays.
I got it. It's a King is Dead quickie.
No, it's Sylvester Saturdays.
What else does he have that's worth playing? I know he's got other games.
We're not making another day.
Well, no, that's the thing is that you put this at the beginning or end of a stream. Just it's a King is Dead quickie.
I've heard Polynesia is good. Virsin das Volk. Yeah. Now do you want a Sylvester Saturday?
Kinda, yeah.
I do really want to try Virsin das Volk, especially the 2+2 expansion.
And then a bunch of stuff that I've never heard of. Lost Expedition, North American Railways.
Yeah, like I said, I think the only other thing I recognize of his is Polynesia, which I've heard is pretty good.
I've never seen that one. Or never heard of it. Judge.
Oh, I've heard of Filipino Fruit Market. Oh my gosh, that cover art. I'd heard better things, I thought, than its geek rating, but who knows? I should probably shut down the stream. I'm sure this is not entertaining to our... Oh, we've got a few viewers. Never mind. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I think we have Oath tomorrow, and then more TI4 on Friday, which I'm very excited for.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll catch y'all then. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.